Let's just see. I've got to refresh a couple of things.
Do that.
Good morning, Tom.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing great. How about you? Had a good night's
Yeah, I'm pretty
sleep?
good, mate.
Dream something sweet?
Yeah, I had a great sleep. Had a nice gym session this morning. It's good to get started on the right foot, I reckon.
I
How
couldn't agree more. Yeah.
would you hit the gym today?
I hit the gym just an hour ago. My mornings are because we moved very close to the beach, 15 minutes by foot. So my mornings include a run or walk the dog to the beach, a quick dip. Yeah, it's pretty warm here. The ocean's like a whirlpool, so too warm to be
Oh,
fair.
really?
Yeah, it's too warm. The
That's
water
good.
is crazy. Yeah, I don't know. Do you like warm ocean water? Isn't that weird to you?
Um, it, yeah,
Like really
it
warm,
does.
like
It does.
warm.
It is weird. Yeah, you're right. I mean, we don't really get it that warm over here, but yeah, no,
Yeah,
I understand what you mean. Yeah, definitely like it a bit more colder. Morning, guys. How are we? Hey, Kat. How
yeah.
are
At least not complaining, but at least a little refreshing. We're not complaining.
you? Yeah, don't complain, mate. You live in paradise, huh?
We all do. Come on, man.
All
Just
right.
because the Aussies have a little weather now, come on. You have paradise over
Yeah.
there.
Oh, it's still paradise, mate. I'll tell you that. That's for sure. How is
Uh,
everyone? Hope you're well. Questions, drop them in the comments if you can. If you've got any questions you want answered on the spot, more than happy to do it today. If I can't get to it, I will endeavour to get back to you. So send me a DM if you want, and I'll do that quite easily. We're going to get started this morning. There's a few questions on weight training as well as some stuff on fat loss. So that's kind of like what we're going to cover today. So if you've got anything specific you want to ask me or Dom, for those of you on Insta and TikTok, you can't see Dom, but he's got a beautiful looking face. So trust me, he's a handsome dude. If you want to jump on his socials, feel free to. He's a good guy. He's one of our great coaches. So let's get moving. All right, good exercises.
Appreciate it, man.
I've got your back, bro. Good exercises for hamstrings besides hamstring curls. Okay, cool. You know what? One of the best exercises for hamstrings is uphill walking. Nature's treadmill, right? That's one of the best exercises. Getting a little bit more of an elongated stretch when you're walking uphill. Not live in the group, Tez. Interesting. Okay. Says it is on my side. Can't help it. I'm sorry, Tez. Facebook's a bitch. Hold on. Here we go. I'll double check that now. Yeah, uphill walking. Uphill walking is probably one of a good, if you've got no gym to go to, go do some uphill walking. It's quite fantastic, to be honest. For me, Dom, I love the old deadlifts, but specifically the single leg ones, because you can really target your hammies on those by getting a good range of motion. A good tip for single leg deadlifts is get a barbell at about waist height, hip height, and rest your hips up against it and lean over and do them that way because you get a bit more stability. Like obviously it's in helping your stability, but you can really target your hamstrings rather than being, swaying everywhere with the weights. So it's probably one of my favorite exercises for hamstrings other than hamstring curls. What about you, Dom?
Yeah, love all of that. I would throw in good mornings. So throw a barbell on your shoulders and have a like lightly bent knees and then bend over by the hip and keep your back straight.
Yeah.
Maybe hard to grasp just by me explaining it, but pop that into YouTube, it will show up. That's a really nice burner too. So
Yeah.
similar to the deadlift, just with a little bit different stress. And let's say we can do the curl seated and laying on our stomach, you
Mm.
know, which
Yep.
will be similar, but will give a little bit of a different stretch to it too. So whatever you're already doing, try for a month or two the other way, and yeah, let us know how it goes.
Yeah, that's a good one, dude. I really like that. High foot leg press as well. You can really get a good stretch on the hammies. Like you can't beat a hamstring curl for really targeting the hammies, but for a variation, deadlifts, glute bridges, high foot leg press, single leg stuff. So you can really isolate each leg. They're probably my favorite ones, I guess. There are a few more out there that you can actually do to specifically target hammies, but yeah, we're not going to go too far into that one. Cool. I think that answers the question. All right. Scales haven't moved in 2 weeks. At what point do I get worried? So, okay. So the scales haven't moved in 2 weeks. All right. The first thing I wanted to say is don't worry. There is a ton of things that could have happened to stop the weight loss. I would probably look at my measurements first, because sometimes if you're not losing weight, you could be losing centimeters or inches around the waist, which is
Good
really,
call.
really important. We've got to remember there's no muscle around your waist, like that. You can't increase the muscle mass on it, so it's all fat. Hey, so if you're not checking your measurements against your weight loss, you really should be doing it. For me, are your clothes fitting better? Do you have more energy? That counts. It really does count. I don't know why we need to worry about it, because there are so many contributing factors for us to put on weight. Have we had a ton of water that day or that night before? Have we had processed foods that's kept the water on board? Do you have that time of the month for the girls? Have you lifted muscle recently? Lifted weights recently for a very consistent period of time and put on muscle? Like, there are so many contributing factors that could detrimentally affect the weight on the scale. It's not the most important thing to worry about to me. Measurements, feeling, clothes fitting, energy levels, they're probably more important to judge yourself on. What would you think, Dom?
Yeah, love it. I would just add also, how many carbohydrates did you have? That will have a major impact on water in your body, and pictures, right? Take constant
Yeah,
pictures next to measurements and your number on the scale. You need
yeah,
multiple touching points, right? As Mike explained, those are the three we use in our coaching program, and often two fail, but one you'll see some progress, and if that
yeah,
keeps you going, it will make a world of difference.
yeah, yeah, big time. I think you got to weigh up not just 1 week. Let's look at 2 to 3 weeks. Give yourself a time. Mate, if
Mhm.
you put on weight 1 week, don't stress. Have a look at the next week. If your body remains the same or loses weight, we're actually doing really well. If you put on weight again the week after, then I would even give yourself one more week and see what happens then, because you could be mucking around with your calories. You might not be tracking well. You haven't hit your step target. Like, there's a myriad of things that could happen. And then week 3, if it happens again, then we do have a problem in terms of something's not working. You will have stopped tracking, or you stopped your water, or you sleep shit, or something in your life's made you, change the way you were before. And then we go back and do an assessment on what's happening per day. What can we change for the next week to put you back into a deficit? Are you eating in a surplus? Like, have you accidentally had a couple of blowouts on the weekend and not told us about it? Like, they're probably things that you can do on the spot that will obviously reset the mindset. So yeah, it's not just important for the 1 week. It's like over time. Let's have a look over time. Make sense? Cool. Excellent. All right. Okay. How to feel the quads and glutes more in exercises. How to feel the quads and glutes more in exercises. Dom, you want to jump on that first?
Hmm. I'm trying to understand the question. How to feel club. So the
Okay.
question
So
is, we
yeah,
don't have enough stress. We would like the higher burn, or what's the question?
yeah, they're probably not targeting the muscle group correctly. So maybe they want to do a
Okay.
quad dominant exercise or a glute dominant exercise, and they're not feeling that muscle work. So I'll say the first thing is you probably your form shit. That's probably the first thing I would say is if you're trying to target glutes and quads and you're not feeling it, your form must be out, okay, or you're doing the wrong exercise for it. So slow down first and do a proper controlled movement with less weight on and see if that's affecting your the feeling that you're trying to get. That would be the first thing I'd look at. Does that make sense, Dom? Um,
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, for me, like the quad is something I have zero problem feeling. I understand like other muscle groups for sure, but man,
you just
quad
all
is
quads, are
such a big muscle. Woo! I mean, if it, like you, it shouldn't be that hard for you to get a reaction out of the quads. But yeah, I mean, mind muscle connection, slow down, take some weight off, really focus in on that movement. I don't know if the squat rack doesn't do it for you because it is a little bit more technical movement. Do machines. There's a ton of machines
Yeah,
that sit you into that quad dominant position, and you don't really have a chance to screw around outside of that.
yeah,
Yeah, try different exercises.
definitely agree. So as I said at the start, it's gonna have to come down to form and the exercise that you pick. Mind muscle connection, I cannot stress enough, is absolutely critical in terms of trying to feel the muscle movement during the process. If you're doing chest exercise and you're feeling it too much in your arms, obviously you're not connecting with your chest enough. So mind muscle connection is absolutely critical. Go deep if you can, get the range of motion right. That's the most important part. Is focus on your movement, make it sure it's nice and controlled. Use a weight that you feel like it is hitting the actual targeted area. And if it's not, yeah, go find a PT or someone that can. Oh, we've lost Dom. Find a PT or someone that can actually correct your movement so it actually is doing the right thing and it's the right exercise for that area. So that's what I would be looking for, if that makes sense to you guys. Trent's chucked a comment in here. Good morning, guys. Is 1 hour every 3 days better than 20 minutes every day, or does one work better than the other? I have a home gym. Dude, I think it comes down to timing and rest. 20 minutes a day is okay. You'll probably only be able to hit maybe 2 major muscle groups in that time. If that's the only time you have during the week, then cool. That I would go for it. Definitely, there's no right or wrong about it. 1 hour every 3 days, you could probably get a really good full body session in. But over time, what's that? Year 3, that's 2 hours a week versus 140, which is roughly the same anyway. So it's still the same thing, mate. It's no here or there. It's about the same. So if you've only got 20 minutes every day to do a workout, then get a split. Do chest, do arms, do legs, do back alternatively every day for 20 minutes, and you'll be able to hit the targeted group probably 2 times over that 7 days. But yeah, if you can do a 1 hour session, I would rather do 3 1 hour sessions. I think you get bang for buck with that. Hope that answers your question, mate. Hope it answers your question. All right, we've lost Dom, but that's cool. I'll go solo for the rest of it. Is Coke Zero or Diet Coke bad? I love this question. Define bad? Okay, to me, it's calories if we're talking about weight loss. Okay, yes, there are things inside Coke Zero and Diet Coke, or that aspartame and all that stuff, that are widely known to create cancers and whatever else in rats. But mate, the amount of Coke Zero per day that we'd have to drink or consume to actually even get close to that minimum range is like 20 something fucking cans. So for me, it's not a problem. If we're talking about fat loss and calories only, Coke Zero and Diet Coke are super good for fat loss because there is no calories. Well, I think Pepsi Max has 5 or 6 calories, but Coke Zero and Diet Coke are great. There's no calories in them. So if we're talking about weight loss, they are super good for it. It can give you curb your cravings. Just remember, like Sprite and Solo and all those other ones have zero sugar now. So if you enjoy those, you may as well do it. Really good if you're having alcohol as well, because you're getting extra calories. Obviously, if you're mixing them, there is artificial sweeteners in there. If you're scared of those, don't do it. Find something that's different. Go for a sparkling water or something like that. But it's like everything. It's fine in moderation, right? You can consume too much water and die. Just remember that, okay? And there are no calories in or carcinogens or all the rest of that stuff in there. So it's not a substitute for water. So let's make sure we keep hydrated, but definitely not a problem with having Coke Zero or Pepsi Max or Diet Coke if you feel like having one or two every day. No problem in my terms. So yeah, it's just caffeine and the nasty little things that are in there. If you're aware of those and you don't want to take them, then don't. But if you want to and you want to keep fat loss down, those things are really, really good and helpful. Very, very helpful. All right, cool. I'm doing everything right, but I'm not losing weight. Please help. I'm doing everything right, but I'm not losing weight. Please help. Okay. Are you tracking your nutrition? Are you making sure that you're on your calories per day? That's my first question. Are you active? Are you moving enough? Are you walking? Are you lifting at the gym? That's another thing I would ask myself. Do you have stress in your life? That's a massive contributor to gaining weight. Are you consistent? Are you consistently eating the right food? Are you consistently tracking your nutrition? Are you consistently going to the gym and lifting weights? Sometimes we might need a blood test. I think that's a very important thing for everybody out there listening. If you are suffering some form of plateau for a very long time, I would suggest getting a blood test just to see if there's anything that you are missing nutrient-wise, and it will definitely help you. But sleep, stress, water, activity levels, tracking, if you're not doing all those things, you definitely won't be losing weight. So I would go back to basics for me. If I want to go back to losing weight, we've got to be in a deficit. We all know that. This is not the magic thing. I'm having something we've invented. It's common knowledge that you can't lose weight unless you're in a deficit. So first thing I would do is cut out one meal. Just the simplest way to do it. Have lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, and maybe a bit of dessert. That would be the first thing that I would do in terms of weight loss. And then second thing, make sure I'm tracking those and getting some form of movement every day. 30 minutes of walking, 45 minutes of walking, gym once or 3 times a week would be super beneficial. It takes time, guys. It takes time. Okay. Some people, it takes 3 weeks to lose a kilo. Some people lose a kilo in 3 days. Okay. It comes down to genetics and comes down to consistency, your type of work, like everything. Everything's a factor for it. So to me, I would go back to basics. Does that make sense? I hope so. Okay, why do people seem to write programs as full body split versus body part split? Okay, simplest thing to do is full body workouts are probably one of the most efficient ways to hit targeted muscle groups if you are time poor during the week. Me personally, I really enjoy full body gym sessions. I really enjoy full body gym sessions because bang for buck in terms of time, but also you're not getting that massively huge hit of DOMs the next day after doing a full targeted body part split. So for example, doing a massive leg day and then the next day you can't shit on the toilet because you can't squat down, versus hitting 6 or 7 muscle groups in one session and being able to, walk or run or swim or whatever you do, not feeling those mad DOMs. That's why I like full body versus body part split. If you really want to target certain areas and grow certain areas, well, body part splits are really, really cool in terms of developing arms, legs, back, chest, all the rest of it. But for me, time efficiency, especially for you guys out there, probably mums and dads or business owners or busy people, full body gym sessions are bang for buck the best, in my opinion. Okay. Again, like I said, less fatigue on muscle groups, more recovery time, because with body part splits, and if you're doing 6 or 7 or 3 on, 1 off, like I said, you're really heavily targeting areas that make you have like DOMs afterwards. So for me, I like full body versus body part split. In saying that, though, I do mix it up and do alternate full body for about 8 weeks, and then I'll do a body part split for maybe 6, and then go back to full body again. I do like the efficiency of full body versus body part splits, but it's important that you're doing something that you enjoy. okay? Something that you enjoy. And get a coach or a PT or someone to write you out a program that's going to work for what kind of results that you want. But also, diet. Nutrition is the most important thing when we're trying to grow muscle, lose weight, maintain, be in a surplus, be in a deficit, or be in maintenance level. Really, really, really important. Okay, really important. All right, what is the most unknown cause of weight gain? Okay, this is a really good question. What is the most unknown? Okay, liquid calories would be the first thing that I would say would be one of the most unknown. Okay, yeah, food does equate for most of our calories per day, but liquid calories like your triple shot espresso, freaking venti. I don't know how you do it with Starbucks, but full cream with 3 pumps of caramel, that's probably about a 400 calorie drink. And some people have 3 of those a day. There's 1,200 calories just in coffee. Okay, liquid calories. They are some sneaky calorie bombs in those. I would be super aware of my liquid calories. Alcohol, same thing. It's not just the alcohol, it's what we have with it, the mixes. You can get lower calorie beers and stuff like that, which do help in weight loss and weight maintenance, but um, hitting those every single day, I'll be looking at saying, hey, if we need alcohol to de-stress, then there's another problem there. Stress eating, emotional eating is definitely another unknown cause of weight gain. I can't stress enough that there is a lot of people out there suffering, and emotional eating is a big thing. So if we can try and fix the emotional eating side first, obviously the emotional part, find the triggers, that would definitely help in weight loss for sure. But in my opinion, it's really, really hard when you've done, say, 15 years of emotional eating or stress eating to be able to flick the switch straight away. So that's something you really need some good clinical help on if you can, with emotional eating, because it is a big thing. It's not talked about enough. I think it's something that needs to be talked about a little bit more. Mindless snacking, boredom. Boredom is one of the biggest unknown causes of weight gain. Come on, everybody out there knows, all right? We're sitting at our desk or we're doing something monotonous and we're like, oh, fuck, I'm hungry. No, you're bored, right? So water's great to suppress your appetite, coffee and things like that. Portion sizes would be another really cool unknown cause of weight gain. People don't think about it. Like they eat till they're full, not eat to be content. So portion sizes, just measure out what 200 grams or 250 grams of protein is, or measure out, even more important, sauces. Measure out 15 grams of sauce, which is the recommended portion size. It's not much, right? It's pretty depressing when you measure out 15 grams of sauce on your chicken or whatever you're having. So portion sizes in terms of the food and the condiments are massively unknown causes of weight gain. And I reckon the biggest one is lack of sleep. Nobody talks about it enough. We spend on average an hour to an hour and a half more on our devices than we do on our sleep. How's that for a fucking fact? Doesn't that grab you by the balls and think, wow, I could just stop for 2 hours of mindless scrolling and use that to rest, recover, energize myself for the next day? It's like another super important thing for weight loss. So yeah, liquid calories, stress eating, mindless snacking, boredom, portion sizes, and lack of sleep would be probably the 5 that I would say are the most unknown causes of weight gain. So yeah, just be mindful of what you're doing. Okay, 5 top tips to grow muscle. What are your top 5 tips to grow muscle? All right, cool. Simple form. Number 1 is eat more. Eat more protein, eat more calories. Okay, you can't grow without fuel. It's like trying to drive a car without putting petrol in it. It's not going to go anywhere very fast. Okay, so eat more. That would be the number 1 thing. More protein. Double your protein intake. On average, this is going to blow your mind, ladies. The average female eats around about 45 to 55 grams of protein per day, which is not enough. Okay, I think the average daily recommended protein intake is 1 gram or 0.8 to 1 grams per body weight. So that's about 70 grams for, say, on average, 60 to 70 grams. You're 20 grams under. We need more protein. That's for sure. Okay, so double your protein if you can. Go to 1.5 grams to 2 grams per target body weight. Hit the gym. Progressive overload. Lift heavy. Don't sit there on the same weight for the next 20 weeks. It ain't going to work. Okay. We need to lift weights. Ladies, you're not going to get bulky really, really quickly. Be mindful of that. Don't be scared to lift weights. It is the single most important thing to growing muscle. Rest and recovery. Rest and recovery. Having rest days, really, 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 really important. Rest days. I'm talking about mindful resting, enjoying saunas or massages, or just having a day to yourself to go for a walk and reset. Super bloody important. Okay, I cannot stress it enough. Rest and recovery. Your muscles won't grow unless your body slows down and gives it time to heal. Consistency would be the next one. Stick to your workout plan. Follow it for the 8 weeks. Have your deload week. Start a new program. That's the only way you're going to be able to progressively overload and get muscle mass. Really, really important. So stick to your plan, especially with your nutrition as well. If you want to grow muscle, we need to eat more, as I said, to start with. So that nutrition plan is fucking super important. And last, probably be the most important is, and it's not a plug, is get a coach or a PT or someone to teach you how to lift properly, to reduce the risk of injury and to make sure that you are targeting the muscle areas correctly. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. Get the right program, get someone to check your form, and make sure that you are targeting the areas you want to target. Like most ladies, they want a peach bum. Most dudes want a massive chest and arms. Cool. You can't do that by just doing only legs or only arms, all right? Vice versa. So if you want a proportionate body, we need to target everywhere. We need to target areas. So, chuck an extra scoop of protein powder every day into your food, or have one extra to get your protein up and doubled. But that would be my 5 top tips to grow muscle. Make sure you're lifting heavy. Make sure you're doubling your protein intake. Make sure you're recovering. Being super consistent and persistent, and proper form. Fuck, I can't stress that enough. Proper form. Okay, proper form. All right. I've lost Dom, so I hopefully haven't waffled on too much, and I've gone solo. So, thanks for joining us, everybody. I'm just going to double check I didn't get any more questions come through. It's really hard. Huge calories in oil definitely surprised me. I had it on my salad every day thinking I was healthy. Yeah, that's a really good point. Shani, is we don't realize that a tablespoon of olive oil has like 140 calories or something like that. And most of us don't put just a tablespoon in our salad. That's what I'm talking about, portion sizes. Be mindful. Hopefully you guys got enough out of that today. I really appreciate you guys joining us. If there was any questions that I've missed, I'm really, really sorry. I'll go through the comments later and hopefully answer some of them. As I said before, if you want to ask me a question in the DMs, please send me a message. More than happy to help out anybody that's got a question to do with weight loss, fat loss, muscle building, mindset, anything like that. So please feel free to let me know. That's it for me. Peace out. Have a great day. I'll see you guys next week.